Welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
the Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. I'm Mason Kern here with you every Sunday from 7:30 to 8 a.m. And obviously I'm certainly glad you decided to join me this morning. And as always, I do have some great stuff in my kennel. Today we'll be hearing from Mike Williams, the former USC and NFL wide receiver, as well as Rhonda Rajsich, the current U.S. National Racquetball champion. I'll also be covering some sports hot topics, and for you basketball-specific fans, interesting happenings on the hardwood. So we'll throw it on over to Sports Hot Topics, and our first stop with NFL action. That's right, NFL football kicked off earlier this week with the Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles, former Super Bowl champions, last year's Super Bowl champions, I should say, taking on the Atlanta Falcons in a bird versus bird contest. And honestly, this was a pretty slow start. You had Atlanta jumping out to a 3-0 lead early on a field goal, and then you had 2 field goals on either side in the second quarter. Finally, the first touchdown took place in the third quarter as the Philadelphia Eagles were able to kind of jump out and get a touchdown, the first touchdown of the game there. And final in this one, 18-12. My biggest takeaway, though, was how poorly the Falcons played in the red zone. I don't know if it was just Philadelphia's defense or if it was really Atlanta's incapability to play red zone football, but it really was a poor showing and one that I think will prove to be pretty costly down the road later this year. Now, later today, we're going to see the Bengals out of Cincinnati take on the Indianapolis Colts. That's going to be on at 10 a.m., so we'll be looking forward to that one. At the same time, you have Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And then you also have some other games taking place today. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints, the Houston Texans versus New England Patriots. You have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. You have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Miami Dolphins. You have the New York Giants taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Los Angeles Chargers taking on Kansas City Chiefs. You have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Carolina Panthers. Washington Redskins taking on the Arizona Cardinals. You have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Denver Broncos. And finally, at 5:20, you have the Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. So a lot of football going on today. Sunday Night Football is back in action, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see how this NFL season shakes out. Well, with all the controversy last year, we'll see how the NFL responds and how fans respond to viewing this year. We move over to a different type of football now. This time it's football, as they say in Europe, as UEFA is sponsoring their Nations League tournament. Now, this is more of the type of tournament where a bunch of these teams are looking to see qualifications for in 4 years, the next World Cup. And a bunch of these teams are going to be playing against each other to kind of see what is going on and how some of these results are shaking out. So in League A, you had the first game of the Nations League tournament as a draw. Germany took on France in that one. League B, in your other matchups, you had Czech Republic falling to Ukraine 2-1. Ukraine's looking pretty decent in that one, although Czech Republic, not the greatest competition. Also in Group B, you had Wales, spearheaded by Gareth Bale on the offense, taking on Republic of Ireland. Wales wins that one 4-1. Moving over to League C, Slovenia dropped one to Bulgaria 2-1, and Norway was able to defeat Cyprus 2-0, or as they say in Europe, 2-0. In League D, moving over, you have Kazakhstan losing 2-0 to Georgia, and you have Latvia and Andorra finishing in a 0-0 tie. Also in Group D, you have Armenia beating Liechtenstein 2-1 and Gibraltar losing 2-0 to FYR Macedonia. So, like I said, a lot of these teams you will not see in the World Cup. This is more of a qualifications tournament. UEFA sponsoring the Nations League. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this Nations League. I think there's a lot of problems with the tournament, but they do some pretty cool things as well. So, Nations League tournament going on right now. Be sure to check it out. All right, guys, let me know what you think about these and other trending sports hot topics on Twitter at Sports Watchdog and on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well at The Sports Watchdog. But don't go away. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060 will be right back after this short break.
If you're losing your hair or notice that it's getting thinner, listen closely. You can do something about it without messy lotions or drugs. Now you can get clinically proven hair growth results at home with the Hair Max Laser. Hair Max delivers nourishing laser light energy to stimulate hair growth right at the roots. It's FDA cleared, recommended by doctors, and best of all, it has an amazing 93% success rate in clinical studies in both men and women, so you can be sure it works. Use it just 3 times a week and experience new hair growth, increased density, and healthier, fuller, more attractive hair in just weeks with a 5-month money-back guarantee. Now, for a limited time, save 15% on your Hair Max order at hairmax.com. Type in code RADIO at checkout or call 1-800-9REGROW. That's hairmax.com code RADIO or 1-800-9REGROW. Experience real hair growth and save 15% with Hair Max.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Once again, you're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060 Phoenix. I'm your host, Mason Kern, and joining us now on the line is Mike Williams, the former USC and then NFL wide receiver. Mike was selected with the 10th pick in the first round of the 2005 NFL Draft by the Detroit Lions. He also played for the Oakland Raiders, Tennessee Titans, and Seattle Seahawks throughout his playing career. Mike is now a coach for high school football. In the midst of his time coaching, he was introduced to the company Tackle Bar, and he's now their national outreach director. The whole purpose of the company is to teach safe contact, sound fundamentals, and decrease injuries. So Mike is here today to share more about his football past and to discuss Tackle Bar a little bit more. Hey Mike, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. So glad you could join us today.
Hey Mason, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks again for coming on. So, first off, Mike, I know I kind of gave a really brief little description of it, but what really is Tackle Bar football and what is it all about?
In short, I think Tackle Bar is the future for youth football. This harness that wraps around your waist that goes, under the shoulder pads is just phenomenal. Just being a coach and with the numbers and with the injuries and the possibility of injury, just having something that just decreases a little bit of contact but still gives you the fundamentals and form tackling you need. I just think it's the future with the way the injuries are going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously football, known to be a very high-contact sport, and with all the controversy, I mean, in terms of injuries with concussions and then new rules getting implemented, this is definitely a great initiative for sure. So how did you then get involved in Tackle Bar football in the first place?
Well, I'm on the. I'm trying to do my best to really just be involved with football on all levels, especially on the youth level. And I'm on the board of directors for a very successful program in LA, and the Watts Bears. And we were trying to find a way to increase our numbers in the football off season for flag football. And what we noticed was a lot of people like flag football, but a lot of people don't like flag football because It is a different version of football. And as a coach myself, you have your kids that go away for 4 or 5 months and they play flag, and there's a whole different rules and whole different way of pulling a flag that does not relate to tackling somebody in football. So you have your kids that go play flag, and then you have to reteach them the fundamentals of, getting your head across and seeing what you hit and breaking down, because they have to break these habits of flag. So with Tackle Bar, we're trying to bring them on board to keep our kids in a tackle-based kind of program. So when I met with Tim Healy and Garrett at the time, first it's all about people. I thought they were great people. I thought they were great family-oriented people. And then, getting out there and meeting them, I just felt like it was something I wanted to be a part of. And as a parent and as a coach, I definitely want to make the game safer for kids and for my son when he plays, just because I think it's the right thing to do.
Right. I mean, safety is definitely, especially in the youth variety, the number one concern. And obviously, I mean, you mentioned flag football. I mean, there is kind of the debate on whether or not people want to continue playing, because then if you do get into tackle, like you said, I mean, you have to kind of reteach the kids the fundamentals. So definitely seems like this is a step in the right direction in terms of that and safety as well. Now, throwing it back a little bit to your college playing days, Mike, at USC, can you give me your favorite or some of your favorite memories from playing for the Trojans?
Some of the favorite memories was just, coming from Tampa, Florida, and coming way out to the West Coast, and understanding what this USC family and this USC tradition was about. Just coming in the Coliseum and having 100,000, people screaming and cheering, and everybody throwing up the V's for victory. So, some of the main memories was just, beating UCLA in the Coliseum and beating Notre Dame in the Coliseum in front of a bunch of those Trojan fans. And I would say my best memory is probably the Orange Bowl down in Miami. My last game with Carson Palmer and those guys, and it was in Florida, my home state. So a bunch of memories to choose from, but I'd probably say the Orange Bowl right now. But just a great experience for me, and a great opportunity to come to a great university, and so just every day just trying to make them proud.
Definitely really cool. And then flash forward to 2005, and you're a first-round draft pick. So can you kind of walk me through kind of draft day a little bit and your emotions there?
Oh, man, draft day, I was surrounded by my Little League team. I actually coached the Little League team that spring. The South Tampa Hammerheads. We won the 8-man football championship a month before I got drafted. So I was already a champion before I got drafted. And but yeah, I was surrounded by family, surrounded by my Little League team. I didn't want to go to New York because I didn't know where I was going to be drafted after seeing the previous year out. Mm-hmm. And then, when I got drafted, it was, an adjustment period and getting back involved, but was definitely blessed. And, went on, played for a few years and, retired in 2011 and got right to coaching. I'm in my 7th year as a high school head football coach. And, so now I'm just giving back and trying to, build up these kids and bring on the next generation.
Definitely really cool there. And we go back to you being a high school coach. What then led you to kind of think, hey, okay, after now that my NFL career may be over, what then led you to decide, hey, I want to maybe coach some kids and then start at the high school level, and now your 7th year as a high school head coach? What kind of made you decide, hey, this is kind of what I want to do after I stop playing?
Hey, Mason, man, the NFL and going pro is a dream, and
right.
But when I was younger, I wanted to be a high school football coach and a history teacher.
Okay.
so in a sense, I'm living the dream now. The NFL was kind of extra, but I always wanted to coach. I always appreciated, who my Little League coaches were to me, and how they shaped me and how they helped me make better decisions and how they make me decide what kind of person I wanted to be in life. So I always thought that was pretty cool, and I just wanted to be that to as many kids as I can for as long as I can, just to kind of be the person that they know cares and loves them no matter what, and just here to build them up and make them good people. So that's just really what I wanted to do. I just wanted to impact people, and I just felt like the way I'd impact the most people is trying to impact as many kids as I can.
Well, that's really cool. So many people, obviously try and go into coaching, and obviously a lot of the coaches that really make a difference in a ton of people's lives. So really cool there. And as we go back a little bit to this tackle bar initiative, what are your guys' kind of plans? I know you mentioned some stuff in the LA area. So what are your next steps in terms of tackle bar football?
Well, for tackle bar, we're just gaining momentum. We're just gaining momentum. We're in about 18, 19 states now. We have over 100 leagues, 100 communities using tackle bar, some as their only form of football. We have about 25 high schools in the LA and greater areas that are using tackle bar in their practices to minimize contact and minimize the injuries, because as a coach, the main thing you want is a fresh team to come Friday night.
Right.
And if you can minimize the hits and the contact and have a fresher team, which is great. And for tackle bar, we had over 12,000 exposures last season. That's
wow.
practice plays, and game plays. And we recorded 0 concussions.
Wow,
so,
that's definitely seems like it's working.
Mason. So when you have stats, when you have data like that, and it's only going to improve when you improve more, when you get more communities on board and more leagues on board, that we want to say, hey, this is a good way of playing football. It does allow some contact. It still gives you the contact of football, but we want to make it safer. And you have this side that says, oh, football should be tough, and why are you not trying to keep the game and make it tough? And everyone wants the tough, and we're soft and we're making the kids soft and everything like that. That's the same, Neanderthal mentality that will ruin the game if we allow it to take over. And if we want to save football, if we want to keep football, the bottom line is we have to make it safer. Automobiles were built years ago, and what do we constantly do with automobiles? We're making them safer. We're changing things. We still need cars. We still need football. We're just making it safer. And that's what I think tackle bars on the front lines are doing.
Right, I think that's a really good analogy too. I like that one. So, I mean, safety, like I said, definitely the main concern. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. Where can our listeners go to possibly connect with you or Tackle Bar, or just to connect?
On Instagram, on Facebook, we're all the same. It's tacklebar.com. It's tacklebar.com, the website, at tacklebar. All our handles on domains. My domain personally is Coach Like Mike. So hopefully we can get some traffic coming our way and people involved, because Tackle Bar is going to be everywhere, and we're just going to keep pushing it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it. We're going to get USA Football on board. We're going to get a few of these other really big organizations that are trying to change the game on board. And, the goal is to have Tackle Bar everywhere, because kids deserve to play football, but they deserve to have it a little safer also.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you very much again for your time, Mike. All right,
Thank you
everyone.
again, Mason. Keep killing it, man. Keep killing it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, everyone. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. We'll be right back after another quick break.
If you're ready for a boast-worthy staycation, the AAA Four Diamond Hermosa Inn, located in Scottsdale's Paradise Valley, is for you. This luxury hotel offers authentic Arizona character and charm. Its 43 newly renovated casitas are nestled in a garden setting with breathtaking views of the lush desert and Camelback Mountain. Most accommodations include deep soaking tubs, beehive fireplaces, and private patios. Other property features include a lively bar and communal seating areas, on-site painting classes, free-use beach cruisers, seasonal poolside yoga, hot tub facilities, a business suite, and dining to die for. The Hermosa Inn is an ideal locale for small group getaways, from weddings, intimate family vacations, and bachelorette weekends, even golf outings, board meetings, and executive retreats. And its award-winning on-site restaurant, Lawns, is renowned for globally inspired Arizona fare, complemented by a subterranean wine cellar. You can see amazing photos of this and much more at hermosainn.com. That's hermosainn.com.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. I'm your host, Mason Kern, and joining us now is Rhonda Rajsich, a professional racquetball player and the current United States National Champion. Just 3 months into her first pro season, Rhonda made the finals of her first U.S. Open, taking out the #1 player in the world along the way. At the end of that rookie season, she was ranked number 3 in the world and hasn't looked back since. She has sustained a top 3 position in the world rankings for her entire professional career and achieved number 1 in the world for 4 consecutive seasons. So Rhonda is here today to share more insight into her racquetball career and why she picked the sport over another she excelled at, basketball. Hey Rhonda, welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show. So glad you could join us today.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on again. So first off, like I said, you picked racquetball over basketball. So can you kind of give me a little background as to why you made that decision, and then what kind of spearheaded kind of why you decided to do that?
It wasn't so much as a decision as it was just something that kind of fell into my lap. I still love basketball. I jokingly say I'm a basketball player pretending to be a racquetball player right now.
There you go.
But I think what happened was it was just sort of a timing issue. I was still pretty much intent on playing professional basketball as my career. And then like I said, I just kind of had so much immediate success in racquetball. When I hit the adult scene, I had quite a bit of success as a junior, but I always kind of figured that racquetball would be like my secondary sport and basketball would be my primary. Then when I qualified for the U.S. team much earlier in my life than I expected to, and obviously the LPRT, it was the LPRA at the time, the women's pro tour that had started up and totally revamped, with the leadership, revamped the logo, revamped, the entire tour that they had in place there. I was like, you know what, let me see what I can do if I actually focus on racquetball, because it was always kind of the thing that I did in addition to basketball.
Right.
But when I decided to give the pro tour a shot for 1 full year and just see how I could do, and ended up having such quick success, right off the bat, I was like, yeah, I could do this for a while. And it's just kind of one of those things that doing this for a while, 19 pro seasons later, I'm still doing it and still loving it.
Definitely a really cool story. I mean, for it to kind of kind of fall in your lap like that. I mean, definitely really cool. I mean, not necessarily the story that many people have. Not many people can also say they've been number one in the world for 4 consecutive seasons at one point. So that's definitely pretty cool too. But obviously, I mean, being a professional athlete, it comes with its challenges as well. So obviously, I mean, people have faced adversity. How have you been able to kind of face adversity, and what can you say to those who might be going through stuff that need to get through stuff as well?
You know what? I don't know if you knew this part, but I actually had a little chapter of adversity that I was blessed, in my opinion, to have to experience, and that was that I got jumped by 2 guys with brass knuckles, and they shattered the right side of my face, and all of this happened right before the World Championships in 2008.
Wow.
And there's a lot more on that story, but in a nutshell, the greatest gift that I got out of that experience was that nothing happens to you, it happens for you. And that, learning that and going through that to be able to have that experience. Like I said, I never felt like a victim. Like, not once did I ever feel like a victim, or why did this happen to me, or, my head was never down. I truly feel like that was, for all the pain and stitches that went along with it, it was a blessing, to be able to learn so much, about myself and about, what that experience taught me, and what I was able to learn coming out the other side of it. And that, I'd say that was in one sentence, that was the biggest takeaway. Nothing happens to you, it happens for you. And if you can kind of be able to look at any situation that comes your way, and realize that there's a lesson in there for you one way or the other, it's a pretty cool sensation to know that we all have that, like, that learning curve, and that protection, and that ability to come through anything, and that we have unlimited strength within us if we know where to look for it.
Right, and I mean, at the same time, I think it's all really about a mindset. Your state of mind is I think, so important, especially going through times of adversity. Now, Rhonda, shifting gears a little bit, I mean, as you look at your career, at the whole career in perspective, what are you kind of most proud of doing, or where are you most excited about looking toward the future? I mean, in your 19th season, there's got to be more stuff on the horizon. So what else do you think you kind of are looking forward to that you might not have gotten out of this already, or looking back, something that you're just proud and want to share?
It's not the awards, and it's not the accolades, and it's not necessarily the achievements anymore. I mean, I really can't think of anything I haven't won at least twice. So it's not the trophies or, the medal count or anything like that for me anymore. And I don't know that it ever was, but just knowing like I said, the experiences that I've had, and what keeps me going, and what has me so, amped up and always looking towards the future is that I know that I'm still getting better. Like, as much of my life as I've dedicated to this, like, I can look at a video of my play from, a match just last year, and then realize that, a year later, like, wow, my serves have gotten so much better since then. Or, my footwork has gotten so much better. Like just knowing that I'm still on the rise, if you will, as far as what I'm doing and what I'm capable of, and knowing that I haven't peaked out yet. That's 100% what fuels my fire, is that I know that I still have room to grow in this game. And that, to me, that's exciting. Like, to me, it's exciting to know that I'm not done yet.
Right, and I always feel like there's room for improvement no matter how high you get in your respective sport. I mean, or in anything really, I feel like there's always room for growth. So it's cool that even for someone who's been at the very pinnacle of their sport, that they have the same outlook. Very cool. But look, as we talk about the future now, and we look at kind of the next upcoming tournaments, what are you looking and competing in next, where people can possibly even tune in?
Well, there's actually an outdoor tournament, which I'm going to throw that out there just because outdoor is such a different kind of ball game than indoor. But I love it because it is different, but I also love it because it is still racquetball. It's a big 3-wall championships that we have out in Las Vegas at the end of September, and it's right there on the strip across the street from the Stratosphere. They build a bunch of courts, and there's 3-wall and there's 1-wall, and it's racquetball, handball, paddleball. It's an eclectic mix out there, and it's just a bunch of different court sports. And I think ESPN gets out there and covers that, and it's a really cool experience. It's got a little bit of a spring breaky vibe to it, but the competition is fierce and it's serious and it's exciting and it's Vegas, But right after that, like the first week of October, we have our United Healthcare US Open in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and that's that's the golden egg for me. That's obviously the biggest tournament for me every single year. I've won 4 of those, and I want 5, and I'll get 5, and hopefully it'll be this year. And I'm excited for it. That's the biggest Grand Slam that the sport has, as far as the women's pro tour, the men's pro tour, all the amateur divisions. They've got several clubs hosting matches in across all the different divisions because the participation is so huge, and it's basically the marquee event of our sport, and it's an incredible environment, and everyone's game, pros and amateurs alike, everyone's game goes up about 2 or 3 notches at the U.S. Open simply because it's the U.S. Open, and it's a really cool experience.
Right, yeah, I feel like people definitely play up to their competition. Well, Rhonda, good luck, first of all, and we'll be eagerly awaiting here in Phoenix for you to get your 5th U.S. Open title. Well, thank you so much for your time again, Rhonda. Where can our listeners go to get more info or possibly just to connect with you?
You can connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and I've got a Facebook too, but I'm locked out of it at the moment, so I don't want to throw that out there. But I'm pretty sure my Instagram is RhondaRox23, so you can hit me up on that. And also you can check out more at usaracquetball.com. And also I think it's USA Racquetball on Instagram for them as well, for Twitter. And our ladies professional racquetball tour is lprtour.com as well, and pretty sure there's links to follow us on social media on there as well.
Well, there you go, guys. Make sure to go check out the league and check out Rhonda as well. Rhonda, thank you so much again for your time. All right, everyone. The Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix will be right back after this.
If you're a DJ, karaoke enthusiast, singer-songwriter, or band seeking a rechargeable and portable PA system, then Voco Pro's Drifter is for you. The convertible all-in-one karaoke and PA system with microphone offers wider and better sound coverage, and with a multicolor LED light effect. Get hours of entertainment through Drifter's built-in USB, MP3 player, FM, and line inputs, while Bluetooth connectivity accesses thousands of YouTube karaoke songs via tablet or smartphone, all at the lowest price ever. Learn more at vocopro.com.
You ready to hoop it up? This is Happenings on the Hardwood.
All right, guys, as always at the end of the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix, we're going to pivot on over to the Hardwood and focus on some hoops talk. We're less than a month away now, or I guess a little over a month away, because now we're in September. NBA tip-off starts in October. We're dwindling down the offseason, and we're seeing some more pickup games, right? We're seeing some NBA players come out and play some just friendly, fun basketball, but it's giving us a chance to see what these guys still have left in their tank, or what they're going to be possibly bringing to the table this upcoming season. So I just recently saw Dwayne Wade play a pickup game at a local YMCA with just some random guys who were playing there. Dwayne Wade has not honestly even officially said whether or not he's playing this season, but he did say he will not play for a China team. Some Chinese league teams did offer him a higher scale contract than I think he'll get playing again for in the NBA, but he said he's going to stay in the NBA if he decides to play again at all. And if he did, he said it would be only for the Miami Heat. So the Heat may get back future Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, I should say. Also saw Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year last year, and maybe Rookie of the Year again this year, and the year after, and the year after. I'm just kidding. Obviously, you can't win Rookie of the Year more than once. It's just a joke. But anyway, you look at it, and Ben Simmons playing pickup with LeBron James. Now, I know Philadelphia 76ers fans are crying, saying, oh, what could have been. But LeBron's looking pretty good, and I think he's going to give this Los Angeles Lakers team that he's on now a veteran presence, mentorship, and he could honestly lead this team to the finals in their very first year. Yes, I know you have to get through Golden State. Yes, I know you have to get through the Houston Rockets, but I think Houston is a tier down lower than they were last year. I think Golden State is still at the top of that race, and they're going to be the favorites yet again to win this year. The East, though, Boston looks pretty good. Philadelphia looks halfway decent and might be able to compete. I think that's what's going to be your Eastern Conference Finals there with that Philadelphia and Boston core going up against each other. But Toronto, with Kawhi now instead of DeMar DeRozan, we'll see if they can make an impact. I don't think an Eastern Conference team is going to win the final. I just think it's going to be a Western Conference team, whether that be Houston, whether that be Golden State, whether that be Los Angeles, or a surprise team. Maybe New Orleans comes out. Maybe Portland comes out. I think it's really up in the air in that regard, but I do think Golden State is the favorite. But it's nice to see some of these players going out playing pickup, and going to be interesting to see. The league has really been shaken up. So see how all these teams do with their new acquisitions come October. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at @SportsWatchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at The Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.
The Sports Watchdog. The Sports Watchdog, Ace and Kern.